Most of the time, there is a lag between the 3D and the 4D. And here's what I mean. The time you place an order between the time it actually gets to you is very closely resembling how it actually works in the manifestation world. When you place a manifestation order, say you want a new car, sometimes it takes time to get that new car. There's like a time period of a lag, of a buffering period between you and the car. And the more and more you manifest, and the more consciously you manifest, and more intentionally you manifest, and I mean more intentionally as the more you see yourself as someone who gets whatever they want more and more, and that just becomes your baseline identity, that time gap between you and the car closes and closes and closes, and it gets faster and faster every time you manifest something new. However, for the sake of this video, we're going to dive into how to make peace with the lag, because it's actually a good thing, and what would happen if you were to get whatever you wanted right away. And also that it's kind of a limiting belief that there has to be a lag, because if you want to go true all-in law of assumption vibes, you would know that the lag is an illusion and that time is an illusion. A lot of people hide behind divine timing as a spiritual thing, or that it was meant to happen this way. But no, in reality, it happens how you decide it happens. So if you don't fully identify with that desire, or with as the identity that has that desire or has that experience, there's gonna be a lag. That's the only reason why there is a lag, or a longer lag period. Because again, my favorite analogy is the mirror analogy. When you are looking into a mirror, who is the one that smiles first, you or the mirror? You are the creator, right? And so many of us get so caught up in seeking validation from the mirror first to decide how we feel, when in reality, we're the ones with the creator power. We are the ones controlling whether we are smiling, whether we are abundant. Everything is just a reflection of our experience, right? And your perception shapes your experience. And so to minimize, like the first thing you can do to minimize the lag is completely seeing yourself as someone who has what you are trying to manifest. Or like when your 3D reality is not fully reflecting your desires, it only means that you have not fully convinced your subconscious mind that that is who you are at an identity level. So when you can completely saturate your mind, when you can completely believe that this is who you are, when you decide that that is who you are, and it is what it is, when you have that it is what it is inevitability factor to it, that is when your reality starts reflecting in the 3D. That's when you start seeing things in the 3D that are validating to an extent. And I mean, that's not to say go look to the 3D for validation, because all the validation you need is within yourself at all times. Because sometimes you can get caught in like a nasty trap looking for validation in the 3D constantly and like seeing that as who you are, because it is not. You are the proof. At a very baseline level, you are the proof. If you have the desire, you have it for a reason. But here's the thing. Okay, so sometimes when there is a 3D lag, and I like to think of it too, I talk about this in my other videos, where your thoughts are like high-speed Wi-Fi and the 3D reality is like a mail carrier delivery service. So like literally when you place an order, it does take some time to get to you because the 3D is more dense. So, I mean, yeah, if you really want to go full on Matrix, it really is just an illusion, that time is an illusion, that things take time to get to you. But for most of us, there is a little bit of a lag period, whether it's a day, whether it's a week, or even a year. I've had that happen to me before. And when you can look at the lag and reframe the lag as actually something that's good for you, because think about it, if you were to get every single thing that you wanted right now in this moment, you are the version of you most likely right now who would not be able to hold it all. Because if you don't have it yet, you're not yet the identity that can hold it. The reality, the 3D reality, is a direct reflection of how capable you are of holding your manifestations, of being able to contain them in your energetic field, because we're all energetic bodies, right? And how safe your nervous system feels holding it all is a huge key factor, because it's like the millionaire effect, or not the millionaire effect, the lottery effect, right? A lot of people who win the lottery end up losing it all and blowing all that money in 5 years. Why is that? Because they don't feel comfortable, or they don't see themselves as someone who has a lot of money, even if they have a lot of money. And if you don't see yourself as someone who identifies with having this or having that, your subconscious will self-sabotage. So the lag period is almost a blessing in a way, leading up to things and you having to go through and reach different certain levels of getting to your desires or becoming the version of you who has it all. And because it really directly reflects how strongly you see yourself and identify as someone who has that desire, who experiences that, who already is the person that gets everything they want. Because when you fully identify, that is when you are able to energetically hold your desires more. And here's what I mean. I want to give a personal example. So a while ago, I manifested my dream car. I've talked about this in other videos too. And manifesting my dream car was an interesting experience because I was working as an assistant for somebody and I wasn't really making a lot of money. And it felt really uncomfortable being a 21-year-old with my dream car, making not a lot of money. Like the amount of what my car was worth was like how much I was making in a year. And that really fucked with my head. I'm not gonna lie. It fucked with my head for like a good year. I just kind of felt like this car was too good for me. I felt like it felt weird whenever people would compliment me because they would ask what I do for a living. And I'd be like, well, I'm an assistant. And it just felt wrong, right? Like it was hard to see myself as somebody who could have nice things because I wasn't making a lot of money. So I tied a lot of my worth to my income and to the things that I had in my life. And energetically, I wasn't very capable at that time of holding my dream car in my energetic orbit because I put it as a higher value than me, which is crazy to think about, but so many of us do it. And I just want to be open and honest and like share my experience on here. So it wasn't until I jumped ship at my old job and got a job where I have much more higher earning capabilities that I finally started to really see okay, why was I placing my value under money for so long? Money is just a direct reflection of how I see myself. So if I'm experiencing or perceiving lack, the reality is just a reflection of that. And if I see myself as someone who is not worthy of having my dream car, guess what? That's going to reflect in the 3D too. And I'm going to have situations that are reflected back at me that make me feel unworthy of having my dream car. And thinking a lot bigger these last couple months have helped put me on the fast track to manifesting so much more in life because I see myself as someone who can hold more. So when you see yourself as someone who feels safe holding those desires come to you so much faster. And they come to you in a much more sustainable way. Because again, if you were to get everything at once, your nervous system would be on 10. It would be overloaded, overstimulated. You would be in self-sabotage mode. You would be panicking because your ego and your subconscious mind don't know the difference between what is safe and what is not safe. Because it only knows what is comfortable and what has been repeated for so long. So when you jump ship and you step in a completely different life, step into completely different shoes, and you're someone new, your ego and your subconscious mind haven't quite caught up to that yet. Or your ego and your body have not quite caught up to that because your body takes time to adjust to your reality too. I talk about this in a video called The Identity Leg, or I think it's not The Identity Leg. It was The Identity Purge That No One Talks About. It's a really great video where I dive deep into how the body feels when you're manifesting because it does get uncomfortable sometimes. And it's just a whole life experience. It's a whole different game. But your ego, it does take time to sync with your new reality because when you are stepping into new shoes, even though you might have more or you might have what you desire or you might be living the life that you desire and you're happy, you're peaceful, you are more abundant and your experiences are reflecting that, if your ego has been in lack, has been in stress, has been in fight or flight for the past 20 years, the past 10 plus years, even the past 3 years, that's what it's going to be used to, and it's going to try and self-sabotage, and it's going to try and pull you back into that reality, into that perception, because that's where it feels safe, even though this new life where you're happier might be much better for you. So this identity, the lag period between the 3D and the 4D is a blessing in disguise, sometimes because it really gives you that synchronicity period, or it really gives you that integration period for you to really soak up your new identity, to allow your body and mind to feel safe while you're in this new identity, while you are embodying this new energy. So it's a whole journey, and the leg between the 3D and the 4D, I don't know why I want to keep saying identity leg, but I guess it is really an identity leg in a way. It's a blessing in disguise, because think about it. Again, you are the version of you who, if you were to get everything that you wanted right now, you would go into overload and your nervous system and your ego would probably explode, right? Right? So like getting things one step at a time, it's a part of the beauty of the journey as well. Getting things at different levels, or being someone new at different levels. And yes, you can take the elevator all the way to the penthouse and be exactly who you want to be and have your life change overnight. That is totally possible. And if you can do that, that is so amazing. I've certainly done that before too, in certain experiences where I completely, I mean, for me, it wasn't necessarily 24 hours, but like completely flipped my life around in the span of 3 months. I mean, I found my dream partner. I manifested my dream partner in 2 weeks. So it's like a whole thing. It's a whole game where like the more you can fully feel that identity and feel safe in that identity, it puts you on the fast track to that reality where the 3D reflects that identity faster and faster. And it closes the gap between when you place an order to when you get that order faster and faster. And that's it. That's all I have for today. I hope that this made sense, because sometimes I get a little sidetracked. My ADHD brain loves looping around different topics. So if you stayed this long, thank you so much. I would totally appreciate if you liked this video, shared it to someone who you think might need to hear this message, or even subscribed and joined the Manifestation Club or Law of Assumption Club, whatever. We are manifesting the impossible over here and assuming the best of ourselves. So if you join the family, welcome. Sending you so much love and light, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.